Hello, my friends. Well, today is March 16th, 2020, and as you've probably heard, there's this little thing called the COVID-19 coronavirus going around, and I'm going to talk about how it relates to living in a van, the challenges that it brings, and some ways that it's really not that big of a deal. First of all, let's just talk a little bit about this COVID-19 thing in the first place. From what I'm reading, 80% of people are going to be fine. It's like a mild flu, upwards to like a kind of a nasty flu. So that's the good news. The bad news is if you are someone who has respiratory issues, or if you're like over 80 or 75, or if you're quite obese, it could be a big challenge for you. The other part of the bad news is that it is highly contagious. In my area in Vancouver, they're in the midst of shutting everything down, and they're probably going to close the rec centers and swimming pools very soon. So it's going to be challenging to get a shower in a van, because that's how most of us get our shower. But, essentially, other part of it is, unfortunately, I eat out a lot. I eat probably out like 3 times a week. And I'm going to have to start cooking more in my van because the restaurants are going to be closed. And then basically, just like everybody else, you get kind of cabin fever just staying in a van all the time. And if the libraries are closed and the rec centers are closed and Starbucks is basically takeout only, there's a lot of challenges that could be present. However, the good thing is, really, I have everything I need. Like, I can take a shower or wash up with a washcloth and a bucket full of warm water heated on my stove. It's not that big of a deal. It's totally doable. If I have to go number 2, I can use a plastic bag and a bucket. I'm prepared for that. If you're someone in a minivan who is basically living out of your van and you're not set up for those kinds of challenges or to deal with those circumstances, it's going to be harder. If you can't wash yourself in the van and there's no public access to swimming pools, etc., it's going to be harder for you. So you might have to go shower at a friend's house or something. Another big challenge for van dwellers is food. And I have a very limited range of food storage at this point. I'm hoping to increase that. But, today I went and visited my kids. I made them sandwiches for lunch. And, you got 3 sandwiches, that's 6 pieces of bread, that's half the loaf gone. But you go to the store, there's no bread on the shelf. So I'm hoping today to get some for the next couple days. And the thing is, I can only buy so much bread. I mean, it's going to go bad. I don't eat it myself fast enough. So, and I want to have it for my kids ready. So maybe I have to think of a different lunch option. Anyway, so there's lots of challenges happening, but, this is going to eventually get better. More so than the sickness itself is the financial problems that people are going through or will go through. And that, I think, is the biggest challenge. I think we're going to definitely go into recession, maybe a deep recession. And that's going to have an impact on people's economic situation for sure. Other aspects is the older people. I mean, if you see an older gentleman or lady in front of you in the lineup and, they've been looking for food and the shelves are empty, maybe let them go in front of you. Maybe it's a time now to, share one of your rolls of toilet paper, and think about what they're going through, because everything is a lot harder for them. And if they don't have someone to advocate for them, then it's going to be pretty challenging. Add to that, they're more susceptible to get the virus, or at least more likely to suffer severe repercussions from it. The rest of us, we might get sick, but we'll get better. Elderly, it's a big challenge. So, what's going on back in the back of the van here? Well, as you can tell, I got my floor almost in. Kind of like a dark brown. I still got to finish this edge here. And it was kind of a bugger to put in. I kind of just chalked it up to, if I made a mistake, I'm just going to have to live with it, because a couple of these seams are not as flush as I want them to be. I think it's going to get scratched up. I can tell already I've got a little bit of scratching showing, even though it's only been a couple days. So it was on the cheaper side. Well, it wasn't that cheap. It was $2.19 a square foot, but I could have bought the expensive stuff. Anyway, that's the way she goes. Eventually, what I could do is I could just rip it out from like I'm gonna have a couch over here on this entire side. It's gonna be a couch, and I could just, like, when whatever strip is left, I can always rip it out and just put something else there if I wanted to later on. Here's you notice that there's no more kitchen counter here. So this is very roomy in here right now. Like, you wouldn't believe how much space I have. It's great. It's like a cavern. Here I'm sitting way at the back. And it's my bed and all the junk on it. But, I mean, that's a lot of space. Basically, I got this kitchen unit and this bed, and that's it. And I'm going to have storage over here. Here's a piece of foam I'm saving to make my couch with, or at least part of it. And this is a bin I've been collecting stuff in I got to get rid of. I'm going to keep this ball. But some of this is like hard choices. Like, for instance, this coffee cup. Brand new, never used. But I already have a coffee cup. Do I really need two? I don't know. Should I keep it or get rid of it? These speakers I'm going to use. These are Bose speakers, but they're 120 volts, so I'm going to have to use an inverter with that. And then I have this a little thing I use for music, mixer. And then I have an entire thing of CDs over here. Take it out. This is full. There's like 100 CDs in here. And what am I going to do with these? I don't even have a CD player. Even my laptop I have from work doesn't have a CD player. So I'm going to have to make some hard choices here, folks. That's the way she goes. This has got to go. Can't keep that. Check this out, guys. This white transit van is a stealth van. On the side there, you can see, might not be able to see, it says Super Poopers. Some kind of dog cleanup. And you can see there's a solar panel on the top, a Max Air fan on the back. That guy's... There's no number on that side. Look, you can see there's no phone number, so they don't really want to be contacted. I'm thinking that's just like a fake decal, kind of a magnetic sign they put up there to add to some kind of stealth. Anyway, there he drives off. See you later, Mr. Stealth Man. You're not fooling me. Oh, 2 Max Air fans, I think. Okay, that about does it for now. Thanks for watching it. Be well, my friends.